Good evening, everybody, and I appreciate you guys coming to listen to my speech, and I hope you guys as the class enjoy it as well. So today, for my persuasive speech, I want to talk on the topic of vaping and juuling. But first, I want to start off with a story that happened to my mom, who's an educator in the Rockville School District. This happened to her over the past school year. So she was in front of the class teaching, and in the back, there were two students vaping and juuling through their clothes, specifically their sleeves. At the time, my mom didn't know that this was going on, and it wasn't until later, until two students informed her about the situation because they were uncomfortable, then she found out. She then proceeded to question the students and take the situation to administration, to which administration, the overall solution is that administration informed the parents. The kids were actually busted, they had punishment, and then the parents, teachers, and staff just worked on providing education about this topic and telling students all the negative outcomes that come along with it. So how many of you guys, specifically maybe as teachers, students yourselves, or adults, have seen this happen in school environments or public places, or maybe know someone personally who has an addiction to these kinds of devices?
Well, unfortunately, after I told you about that story, there were more situations that happened, which is causing me to have a great concern for this epidemic.
Okay. So if you're like my mom, as she said before, and you have seen this happen, today my job, I really want to try to arm you guys with the information and help you help you to overall reduce this epidemic. So by reducing this epidemic, I think that overall this provides for a healthier lifestyle for students, along with just eliminating the usage of these devices in general. So some of you guys in the audience may never or have never heard of these devices, maybe don't know what Juuls look like. You might know what e-cigarettes look like, but Juuls are the new thing, and I really want to educate you guys on what the deal is with these things. So over the past couple of years, Juuls have become a lot more prominent in the St. Louis area. According to Fox 2 News, there has been a 900% increase in the overall teen usage of these devices from 2011 till present, which I think is just absolutely ridiculous considering all the negative outcomes that come with it. So I bet if we took a sample of high school students or maybe middle school students around the St. Louis metropolitan area and asked them if they knew somebody or had an experience with this topic, they could probably tell you something. As I said earlier, my mom, she also, aside from being a teacher, she also works in the summer school program, and she has confiscated these devices from students and caught them doing this in the bathroom, which that's outrageous. Students don't really know what the deal is with these devices, which leads to my next topic. There's also a lot of health risks that are involved with these as well. Specifically, in a study that Dr. Lim did, who is a SSU or SSM Health or St. Louis Hospital doctor, he did extensive research on these devices and concluded that these are gateway, which means that they lead into the other use of tobacco products or other things. In addition to that, St. Louis University, their newspaper, did a study on these devices as well, and specifically the pods. Now the pods, they stated that the amount of nicotine in them is the equivalent to 1 pack of cigarettes, just one pod, which is just, that's ridiculous. So overall, just students don't really know really don't really pay attention to this information, and because it's the new cool thing and there's a lot of peer pressure that goes around, and it's just they're trying to fit in, or whatever the case may be. But the bad thing is that companies play off these things they hear and make the designs more appealing to them. The designs are often sleek, discreet, and quickly accessible, so students can do this in and off school grounds. So, for example, during the Dr. Lim interview, the interviewer, Randy Narton, she stopped Dr. Lim halfway through and said, these things look like USB devices, which in fact they really do. So for example, let's say a teacher has never seen these before and says, and their student has these plugged into their laptops, they may never ever be caught, and then students will proceed to think that it's okay to do and keep doing it on school grounds, which, I mean, it's just getting out of hand. But with this information that I've provided, I'm hopefully persuading you guys to be proactive and act on this epidemic by just doing the simple act of passing this information on and getting it out there. I really think that it overall just promotes a happier, healthier life for teens. So a couple ways that come to mind when I think about ways to be proactive that you guys can do is, one, if you're a student and you see this happening in the classroom with your classmates, report it immediately to faculty so that the situation can be handled. If you're playing the role of a teacher, for example, and you see this happening, report it to administration so administration can properly educate these students on all the effects that come out of, or all the negative effects that come out of the use of these devices. And even if you want to take it further, you could even talk to your local healthcare providers and find out ways that you can actually get involved and help even further lead and push this information out there to others. I really think these are just great ways to go about it, but these are only a couple things you can do. So just overall, just think of things, just little things that you can do to help this and promote this information. According to the Surgeon General, nicotine, no matter how it's delivered, is one of the most addictive substances teens can use. And I think it's just terrible. And I stand behind that 100%. Nothing good comes out of using these devices at all. I mean, we all know the effects of what tobacco products have on anybody who uses them persistently. Lung cancer, cancer in general, and overall gateway use into other drugs, that's just absolutely terrible. Bottom line is that we need to act on this now. But I'm not the only one who can do it. So we as a community have to come together as a family and tackle this together. I challenge each and every one of you guys to go and put this information out there, push it to others, spread it to your family, friends, whatever the case may be. Just get this out there, please. A famous quote that I really like by Gandhi states, "Be the change that you want to see in this world." Thank you guys.